Hello guys, this is Adam Beaker at Our Lady of the Lake University, and I'm here to teach you guys the fundamentals of organic chemistry. It's a hard subject. I think a lot of people get more scared than what is needed, and with practice and time, and you'll be able to kill the course and be able to get a good grade, hopefully an A. And hopefully you can come back and watch my videos for some tips and some help. So for right now, we're going to go over the fundamentals. This is something that you can probably watch the first week of class. That way you can get either a head start or get to know some of the basics. So, or a review. Maybe your professor talks about it the first day and there's a big review. So I'm going to start off saying that organic chemistry is the fundamental organic chemistry equals carbons. This is the biggest thing of organic chemistry. I mean, you need to know carbons. So right now we're going to start off with the main carbon chains you need to know. You're just going to need to know it. And I'm talking about the basics of carbon also. Carbon likes 4 bonds. So it's likes being with hydrogens. So this is the happiest carbon. So if you want to see a carbon that's happy, he's at the beach, he's chilling, he's enjoying himself, this is him. He has all 4 bonds and he's neutral that way, he's happy that way, that's the way he wants to be. So this is a methane. So you have your methane, which is a CH1, 2, 3, 4, CH4, that's your methane. An ethane is 2 carbons. So you have a CH2, CH3, pardon me. So this is in order. So you're gonna have 1 carbon, 2 carbons, 3 carbons, and 4 carbons right here. So you have 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbons. So methane, ethane, propane, butane. To memorize this, you could also use an acronym. So monkeys eat pretty bananas, something I use. Courtesy of Dr. Davis at Incarnate Word here in San Antonio is monsters eat peanut butter. That's something I was taught, and that worked for me as well. But there's just different things you could use. So make an acronym. You want to memorize these. These are very, very crucial, very important. Methane, ethane, propane, butane. And so propane is 3 carbons, so you have CH3, CH2, CH3. Butane has 4 carbons, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So these are your main carbons that you're going to need to know. So you also have pentane, which is 5 carbons, hexane, which is 6, heptane, which is 7, octane, 8, nonane, which is 9, and decane, which is 10 carbons. You probably won't need to know those. I would suggest just memorizing these, make an acronym for these. The others will come naturally, and you'll be able to already get into it later on. So this is what a methane molecule looks like. It has its 4 hydrogens, a carbon center. It's a happy molecule. But how do you write this in a carbon or a skeletal structure, which is essentially what you do in organic chemistry? It's probably one of the main things you learn or need to learn, which is the naming and the writing of a skeletal structure. So skeletal structure is lines and dots and all sorts of little things. It sometimes scares people, but it's not that hard if you practice it, if you know the basics. So, and it really is just simplification of stuff you already know. So you know how to write kind of this from general chemistry, or at least I hope. So this methane group is the equivalent of just a single dot. So you're not going to see that often, of course, because that signifies a carbon, and it's a happy carbon because there's no plus or minus charge. So the hydrogens are suggested. But let's get into the ethane, propane, and butane. So this, it would be just like that. And this would be just like that. And the butane will be a 4 carbon chain. So you see how the chains, let's do this. Alright, so you see how the chains grow. So methane is 1 carbon. The hydrogens are suggested. Ethane has 2 carbons. The hydrogens are suggested. Propane, 3 carbons. butane, 4 carbons. So it's pretty simple. Now, some people may ask, okay, well, where's the hydrogens? Well, in organic chemistry, you're teaching, or if you have to do lab reports, anything, you're talking to people that already know science. So they already know carbons are happy with 4 bonds. So this carbon has already 1 bond. This one has already 1 bond shown. So, and it's happy, so it's suggested that there's 3 hydrogens. Suggested that it has 3 hydrogens. Same here. So you have, this carbon has 2 bonds. 1, 2. Already has 2, so that means it's suggested it wants 4. So 4 minus 2 is 2. So there's 2 hydrogens on that carbon. There's 3 hydrogens, 3 hydrogens, 3 hydrogens, 2, 2, 3. So that's how we know that. It's a simple idea, but it can get tricky at times, and it's just new material. So it's good for you to review. Make flashcards. That's what I would suggest. Make an acronym for these: methane, ethane, propane, butane. That way you know what they are. You need to memorize it. Once again, monkeys eat pretty bananas. That's what I use. That was easy for me. I made it up. That helped me memorize it more. So I'm gonna get into another video next time what this is, but notice how you have the last 3 letters are interchangeable. So you may see like methane and methine, and of course methane, and I'll get into it later. Actually, you won't see that one change too much, so this is a little, that one really won't change by itself. So you have ethene, ethine, kind of propene, propine, butane, butine, but we'll get into that later. I wouldn't stress or worry about it right now, but you just want to know that organic chemistry is the study of carbons. It's carbon molecules, the carbon chains. These are the 4 that you need to know. You need to know quick. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little question up here, and you can tell me what it is and if it's right, or what is right. What is the right way of putting a butane? So you have so you have this one here. These are all hydrogens I'm adding. You have down there, you have this one, and then you have, so you have these 3. Which one's correct? Which one is the correct way of writing butane? So, I mean, you can count. So these all have 4 carbons. So this is 1 carbon here, 2 carbon here, 3 carbon here, 4 carbon here. Okay, as well as added hydrogens. Okay, this one has 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon. Has 4 carbons. Okay, this one has 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbons. So they're essentially, it's a trick question because they're essentially all the same thing. They're writing, they all equal one another. They are all the same. They're all butanes. The hydrogens are added, but a professor's not going to count it wrong. It's just the simplified version is this one right here. This one is what I would recommend to do though. Adding dots where the carbons would be helps you keep track of the carbons, especially as you go along and later in organic chemistry where the molecules get much larger. It's easier to see them like this, and it's not too much work. So this I would recommend for beginners, just so that you realize that the carbons are here and the hydrogens are also added, but they're already implied. So this is what would be probably the best answer, but all 3 are essentially the same. So all of the above, all these are the same answer. They are all butane molecules. So butane, butane, butane. So later, next video, I'm going to get into the naming of the skeletal structures in a little bit more depth. I just wanted to get the point across that these are what you need to memorize. Make an acronym for it: methane, ethane, propane, butane. There's 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbons, 4 carbons, and these are chains. And ane is interchangeable. You need to know that also because later there's going to be changes to that, but it's not big changes. So this is Adam Beaker, the science tutor, and I'm here for you guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and add questions. I'm gonna start off each video by answering questions related to this in upcoming videos. So I know it was an easy topic today, but this is what organic chemistry is. This is the fundamentals that I would recommend to know either before class starts or as soon as you can, maybe as a review. Just get to know these. Make an acronym. Monkeys eat pretty bananas, or make your own. That's what I did to help me memorize, and it just makes it a lot easier. Thank you guys very much.